Hi guys, I've got a few requests from people asking me to make some videos on surveys. So here is my first video on what are classification surveys. Today we'll discuss that when a vessel is being built, it has now become imperative by tradition and practice of the shipping world over, over the years that the ship is classed by a classification society. That's the phrase for it. The classification society starts its work from the approval of plans prior to the commencement of construction. During the entire period the ship is under construction, a classification surveyor surveys the workmanship of construction. The objective here is of course from the future insurance point of view, but a ship owner today cannot afford to function without the certification from a classification society. In a nutshell, the scope of classification is as follows. A technical review of the design plans and the related documents for a new vessel to verify compliance with the applicable rules is carried out. Then the attendance at the construction of the vessel in the shipyard by a classification society surveyor or surveyors and at the relevant production facilities that provide key components such as the steel, engine, generators and castings to verify that the vessel is constructed in accordance with the classification rules. Upon satisfactory completion of the previous, the ship owner's request for the issuance of a class certificate will be considered by the relevant classification committee or another similar body of the class society, and if deemed satisfactory, the assignment of class will be approved and a certificate of classification is issued. Once in service, the owner must submit the vessel to a clearly specified program of periodical class surveys carried out on board the vessel to verify the ship continues to meet the relevant rule conditions for continuation of class. Once in service, the owner must submit the vessel to a clearly specified program of periodical class surveys carried out on board the vessel to verify that the ship continues to meet the relevant rule conditions for continuation of class. A classification survey is therefore a visual examination that normally consists of an overall examination of the items for survey, detailed checks of selected parts, and witnessing tests, measurements, and trials where applicable. When a surveyor identifies corrosion, structural defects, or damage to hull, machinery, and/or any piece of its equipment which, in the opinion of the surveyor, affects the ship's class, remedial measures and/or appropriate recommendations, conditions of class are implemented before the ship continues in service. Recommendation and condition of class are synonymous terms used by International Association of Classification Societies for requirements that specific measures, repairs, requests for surveys, etc. are to be carried out by the owner within a specified time period in order to retain the class. Each classed vessel is subject to a specified program of periodic surveys after delivery. These are based on a 5-year cycle and consist of annual surveys, an intermediate survey, and a class renewal or special survey which is held every 5 years. The rigor of each specified survey increases with the age of the vessel, because as the vessel starts to grow older, the classification society or the surveyor expects the vessel to deteriorate in condition. The class renewal survey or special surveys include extensive outer water examinations to verify that the structure, main and essential auxiliary machinery, systems and equipment of the ship remain in a condition which satisfies the rules. The examination of the hull is supplemented when specified by ultrasonic thickness measurements and the witnessing of tests as specified in the rules and as deemed necessary by the attending surveyor. The survey is intended to assess whether the structural integrity remains effective and to identify areas that exhibit substantial corrosion, significant deformation, fractures, damages, or other structural deterioration. The intermediate survey, which is held approximately halfway between special surveys, includes examination and checks as specified in the rules to determine whether the ship remains in a general condition which satisfies the rule requirements. According to the type and age of the ship, dry docking may be required, and the examination of the hull may be supplemented by ultrasonic thickness measurements as specified in the rules and where deemed necessary by the attending surveyor. So if you don't know what ultrasonic thickness measurement is, so every plate of the ship is required to have a minimum thickness requirement to ensure its structural integrity, and that can be measured using an instrument which uses the ultrasound principles of sending ultrasonic waves and measuring the thickness of the plate. Finally, at the time of annual surveys, the ship is generally examined. The survey includes an external or general inspection of the hull, equipment and machinery of the ship, and some witnessing of tests, so far as is necessary and practical, in order to determine whether the ship remains in a general condition which satisfies the rule requirements. Older ships of certain types may also be subject to a general examination of some specified internal areas of the hull. Depending upon the age, size, type, and condition of the vessel, an annual survey may take from several hours to a few days to complete. Thanks.